I'm still sick, but let's make the most of it. Hey everybody, this is Spooky's Revenge. We're back with another episode of the 5-year $500 Rags to Riches series. I apologize again. I still got this sickness working me over a little bit. So let's just dive into it. Not feeling too hot today, so I'm probably going to make this a short one. So first things first, because I'm sick and foggy-headed, I'm kind of letting Stocks Buddy do most of the decision making for me. But I just kind of wanted to revisit on the dollar cost average scenario here. So I did the same thing again with HTHT. So if I look at my orders here, I bought one share at $35.99 on December 4th. I bought one share at $31.50 on January 9th. And then this morning I woke up and there was a sell order executed 2 cents above my cost basis. So I took my first share from $35.99 and I moved it down $2 to $33.75. So I still just have the one share. Excuse me. I still collected my 93-cent per share dividend payout for the special dividend, and I saved money on my cost basis by bringing my share value down. So if I look at the 4-hour, I was up here, now I'm down here. So easy peasy, just going to keep rinsing and repeating this strategy. Other than that, it's a pretty flat day. I did add some more to NDAQ, again, just in the process of dollar cost averaging. I got my next buys here. I bought 10 more shares at $2.45. And then, of course, it sold off. That's just how things work. But I got it on this nice little support level here. And then it pulled back up, and then I bought, and then it sold off like crazy because that's just how it goes. The Neo contract is selling off a little bit, but we DCA'd on that one, so I've saved 25% on that cost basis. Still pretty confident in the long term. I'm not going to let this little blob, it might seem like it's a lot. This time period here might seem like a lot of time. It's 22 days, but we have 365 days to extend that out to. So the Webull chart doesn't go that far in the future. I'd like to sell this sometime in the summer. So I'm not too worried about this. This just gives me another opportunity to average down as appropriate. So then if I look at my orders here, I'll just turn the filter back to all so that we can see all of them. I did buy some more SSIC as well. So I bought some MDAI and I bought some SSIC. So let's look at that one. SSIC, there we go. And again, this one's relatively flat. So I just I bought 2 more shares. So just doubling the position, the first buy into a second buy. That put my average right in the middle. And this is obviously a higher time frame setup here. So I'm just waiting. I just wanted to get past this gap here and below this level here. That's all I really cared about. So now we're kind of in this range right here. And so far we're holding the top of it. So that's another opportunity for me to buy. So I did, and then I'm going to look to reduce as soon as I can. After this recording, I'll move this down here and I'll sell like 3 shares, or maybe even all 4. I don't know. Beyond that, I did trade some SPY. As you can see, it's pretty directional right now, so it's a good opportunity to get some directional movement. And I captured most of this, which is pretty cool. And then I stopped because I'm sick and I don't want to make a whole bunch of decisions here. So basically, all I did, I pulled up the 15-minute and the 2-minute. On the 15-minute, we entered a bullish state yesterday at 3 p.m. And you can see here, I'm on regular trading hours. There's no extended hours on this one. I'm just interested in what's happening when the volume is there for a day trade. So as you can see, we entered a bullish state around 3 o'clock yesterday, and we kind of stayed there. So price is pushing up overall in the direction of the overall trend, which is good. That's what I want. So then I look at the 2-minute, and I identified some opportunities here. Now, this was yesterday into close, and then this was the gap up at the morning open. So we had the closing bracket here, right, for those that are familiar with that strategy. We had a candle in the direction of the open, which tells us typically we get continuation for the day in that direction. You can see we're kind of challenging those highs already. So I expect a pretty bullish end of the day, maybe into a sell-off. Tomorrow I expect some sell-off. But for right now, I was only interested in breaking out of this box, this opening range, or closing range, I'm sorry, and just seeing where it goes. So I had the bullish state established right here yesterday at 3 o'clock. And after that, I just wanted to look at the bullish signals on the 2-minute for actual entries. So in this case, I wasn't going to look at one for yesterday because that's right in a close. You don't typically want to take those, especially for a 0 day, because you'll just lose most of the time. Not interested in any of these bear signals. They just don't appeal to me because I'm looking for directions in the upward side. But I did get this one here, which had confluence with breaking out of that range. So this is where I looked for an entry. I traded 2 contracts here. I bought one, I sold one. Let's look at the actual numbers there. Look at my orders here. So the first one, I bought a 484 call 0 day, so it's high risk. And it was, that's Tesla. Sorry about that. I don't know why SPY isn't showing up here. I drew it on the wrong thing. Anyway, I captured most of this. I apologize. Let me draw my box here. As you can see, I'm sick. All right, there's my rectangle. And it was somewhere around here. So let me just move this over here, and you kind of see the direction that it went. So again, we got the bullish state, and then I just look for bullish signals within that. So I'd have to look at the exact time. So I started this trade at 10:02, which is somewhere back here. Sorry, there it is. Okay. So 10:02. So a little bit before the bull signal, but I just wanted to put a first buy in there. And then I sold about 11 minutes later, so 10:13. So right here is where I sold. And then I re-entered here about a minute after that for a different contract. So basically I took a 488 call 0 day. I sold it from 34 cents up to 44 cents, so a $10 profit. Then I immediately bought a 490 call, so a higher strike price, same expiration, for $8, and then I bought another one for $9. I sold one for $16, so I've doubled the price of the first one. And then for the $9 one, I almost tripled that by selling at 26 cents. So I think it was a 233% profit and 188% profit, I think, if I did the math earlier right, but again, I'm sick and I don't really care. Either way, it was good profit. So for the day, I realized $34.65 profit. Now that is in conjunction with the 2 cents or whatever it is for the HTHT share that I sold. So and again, I believe SPY is probably going to keep pushing. It's got a lot of strength and no one can really justify it. But I think it's just because there's so much short sentiment in the market that they're just pushing it up to trap everybody. But that doesn't matter because I don't need to try to predict anything. So with all that said, I am going to end this recording here. I just wanted to kind of give you guys a summary of what I was doing for the day, as well as just kind of recapping and revisiting on how the dollar cost averaging stuff has been working out. So MDAI, I added some. Again, 245, move my average down. I already moved that sell order, so I can reduce that position as soon as it gets to my cost basis. Not touching any of these blue ones, my 6 core positions. I might add some more Tesla because this is kind of falling down to where I want it. For a longer term ad. You can see we're right here on the support level, so I might take some of the settled funds or some of the cash that I had for those sales and kind of push it into those. So the goal for Tesla and Clip is to get to 100 shares, and then I'm going to stop buying them. If I can, I'm going to sell covered calls against them until they're assigned. But for right now, I just want to get my shares in there up to 100 shares. And then I'm going to take the funds that I would normally put into those and put them into the other longer-term dividend build positions like Main, Schwab, Ladder, Johnson & Johnson. So those are kind of my core 6. And then Tesla and Clip are serving a different purpose in that they're building dividend pay aggressively up to 100 shares. So the rest of these are all speculation, and the SPY trade was speculation. That's not necessary to become a successful trader. I just like to do it because it kind of speeds things up a little bit. So again, I'm sick, so I'm not doing a whole lot. I mean, $30 profit ain't that great, but considering that this is mostly a dividend account, that's pretty solid. But for the purposes of this series, I don't want to have that be a determining factor in the success of the portfolio because I know that not everyone can do this. So for the sake of keeping it grounded and realistic, I'm not doing a lot of speculation, and I'm using things like StocksBuddy, which takes the decision making and the expertise out of my hands, and it's putting it in the hands of something that someone else can have. So in this case, if you are using StocksBuddy, and again, this isn't a product pitch, it's just something that I use, and a lot of people seem to like it. I use the 15-minute, 2-minute, just setting it into a bullish state on the 15-minute and looking for signals here on the lower time frame for the actual entries in that same direction. And if this is a bear signal, I'd be looking at the bear signals on the 2-minute. But since we're bullish, I'm going to look for the bullish trades. And then that way, I don't want anyone to copy this account, which is why I'm kind of doing these retroactively after the trade. But I just want to demonstrate that, everybody can do this. And it just kind of depends on what you have available. Obviously, you guys haven't all been trading for more than a decade, so you're not going to have the same skill set. So I don't want that skill set to be a barring factor in your ability to replicate this the progress on this account. So I'm kind of talking in circles here, so I'm going to end the recording. And I've said it like 3 times already, but I will see you guys later. Thank you all, and hopefully I can get my brain back in the next couple days. So we'll pick it up. Thank you, and goodbye.